Hello and namaste. How are you all? And thank you so much for coming this day, whatever time of day that it is for you. Welcome to Hatha Yoga class. Yoga, which means to yoke. It sounds rather strange when you translate the word yoga, but it actually means to yoke, meaning to attach or to connect to out here inside the self, from the outside to the inside. And the Hatha Yoga postures can help you do that, as well as many, many other things. Increase your circulation of your body, strengthen the body, keep it flexible, as well as giving one a nice, quiet sense of self and connectedness and inner peace, which is a much maligned and spoken about word. We're going to really experience that without just sort of saying inner peace. What does that mean? It means something that happens within inside of ourselves, and we use that yoke, that yoga, to connect to that inner quietness or inner peacefulness. Stress is one of the largest building blocks that keep us from experiencing that inner quietness. And I hope as these classes go by that you'll be able to experience how to release stress and how to put in its place something that's higher and more positive and really feels wonderful. Will you lie down and let's work on, or let me share with you, I really should say, some very easy, feel-good type of stress exercises or stress relievers. And straighten one leg out and straighten the other leg out. I hope that you've moved your furniture away and that you've got plenty of room to kind of spread out. Phone is off the hook and the door is closed, and go into a sponge position. Here, we just close the eyes and bring everything back to home. Bring back the nose, the chin, the breastbone in alignment. Palms turned upwards and feet well apart. And this is the yoking part. This is the part where you close your eyes and you scan inwards. Do you see and feel and imagine that connectedness? So scan the inside of your body. And you can perhaps feel little pockets of tightness or tension that is built into stressfulness in the muscles. And we can do something about that very easily by just sort of moving the legs up and down. Very easy. Feels good. Keep the heels on the floor. And you just move the legs up and down, kind of like they were jelly, soft. Move the knees up and down, up and down, up and down. Good. Keep going. And keep breathing. And now take a breath in and exhale your day right out your toes. Exhale a day and feel the sensation within inside of your leg. Connect yourself right down to your feet. You probably have been up here in the brain all day long. Connect yourself down to your feet and down to your legs with your awareness. And now into the arms. Just moving the arms now and moving the legs, moving the arms and moving the legs. And just sort of pound your mat a bit, pounding the rug as you're moving up and down. Keep on going. Move the legs if you'd like at the same time. Now relax, palms upwards. And now let's just take a good breath in, breathing in. And a long, smooth exhalation, out, out, out. Right out your toes, right out your fingers. And let your day go. Closing your eyes and mentally, whatever time of day it is for you, that morning or the evening is finished, and let your day go and be right in the present moment. A little stretching and yawning as we raise the arms above the head and stretch and yawn, yawning and stretching. And as you do this while on the floor, do take care not to arch the lower spine too much. You want to slightly press that arch downwards as you reach and stretch the day. Stretch any stressfulness out of muscles by lengthening them, and the yawning, the squeezing of the eyes, the opening of the mouth, and just float for a second, just a second or two. Let your body float. Don't watch here. Let the elbows be soft and let your body just float for just a few seconds. Good. Roll now over onto your side. This is a good way to get up. If you're lying on your back, whenever you're lying on your back, roll over onto your side. Then put the top hand to the floor and come up into a seated position. Your back will love you for it. So seated in front of me, A few buzzwords in yoga. As we pass through these classes, you're going to hear me say a lot of times. One is the sit bones. Rock back and forth. They're the sitting bones as you rock back and forth. But they're guideposts too, that if you reach down in the buttock area and you can feel them, we use those, the analogy or that feeling of where they are, to help you to deepen poses so that you do poses not only from the outside, asanas as they're called, not only from the outside, but you do them from the inside of yourself. All right, now let's do a very easy balance. All right, sitting on the sitting bones. Just tuck the knees into the chest and put the hands around the back of your knees or thighs and just rock back and forth a bit. Those are the ischium, sitting bones, and lean back a little bit. Lean back off of the sit bones. You're almost on your sacrum, it's quite comfortable. And then lifting the feet off of the floor and let the gaze be a few feet in front of your feet as you just pause there and hook the eyes, breathing comfortably as you balance on the sit bones. Good. That's one thing that certainly one area of our body that you'll hear me talking about. Shoulders. We talk a lot about the shoulders, how they are in poses, how they are in life, because the shoulders carry a great deal of our life baggage, shoulders in the shoulder area. When we get rather uptight, as the word says, our shoulders are up tight under the ears. Shrug them up under your ears. All right, now pull them back and down so you create space. But that little movement has helped you to sort of massage those big trapezius muscles. Inhale now, bring the shoulders up, shrug them up under your ears so you're wearing them like earrings. And then shoulders back and down. Good, so there is a freedom, a space between your shoulders, neck, and ears. Making a lemon or squeezing a lemon between your shoulder blades. Let me show you what that looks like from behind. If you were to just put your hands between your shoulder blade in this way, you want to squeeze the shoulder blades so that they come in towards your spine. You're tucking them in towards the spine, and then you release and relax them. Let's breathe in now. Breathe in. As you squeeze, pull your shoulders back and down, squeezing a lemon between your shoulder blades. That building block is, now let me just do an exercise that uses that building block of squeezing a lemon. And I'll still stay here so that you can see how it works from the back side of me. Clasp your hands behind you. Pull your shoulders back and down, sitting up tall. And now squeeze the shoulder blades together. Can you see how there's an actual action there? The skin, you can really see the action of the squeeze of the skin, the increase of circulation between my shoulder blades. As I slowly lift my arms, this is not an elbow exercise, so you take care of your elbows by just softening them slightly, but pulling the arms downwards. This will help the shoulders to lower and create that space. And now release your arms, close your eyes, and let your day drain from your arms. A wonderful exercise to do in your office. Shoulders back and down. Squeeze a lemon between the shoulder blades. Just using that little analogy, and then let your day go. No one will ever know that you are doing that little undercover exercise. Good. Lie down now, and we're going to just move the spine, always in these classes and always when you're practicing together by yourself, moving the spine in 6 directions. A small twist, an easy twist, one that should make the back feel good and alive. Draw the knees into your chest and put the hands behind the back of the knee. And just rock from one hip to the other. Very easy. It would be about like 6 inches to the right and 6 to the left. It's almost like bouncing off of your elbows. If by chance you're back, you know you should not do a twist, and I've asked you to, by all means don't do it. But this might feel good to soothe the back as you rock from side to side, massaging the sacrum, which have little acupressure points that affect muscles above your sacrum, above the lower back. Good. And one more for the back as you press the thigh into your chest, knee to chest. As you do this, try to bring the sacrum or tailbone down to the floor. There's two actions. The thighs go to the chest, the tailbone to the floor. You breathe in. Good, and exhaling, thigh to the chest. Try to keep your tailbone right to the floor. Good. Now, arms out to your side in a T position. This is a T position. They grow, my arms grow out of the shoulder sockets. Place your feet on the floor and watch here. What I'm going to have you do is just simply first lift the hips off the ground so the body forms a slant. My knees are together, maybe a bit apart, and the feet a little bit apart. Will you swish the hips to the right? See what I just did then? I swish the hips to the right. And then I'm going to place my hips where they are, where they fall, right on the mat to the right. Draw the knees into chest, and then we'll bring the knees down to the left. This is a wonderful, simplified movement, and it will help you to bring your spine in alignment before we do a twist. All right, knees bent, feet well grounded on the floor. Really feel your feet on the floor, almost like there was earth right beneath your feet. Arms out to your side in your T position. Lift the hips up so there is a slant of knee, hip bone, and breastbone. Nose, and they're all in alignment in that home position. And swish the hips to the right, placing the hips right on the floor, buttocks on the floor. Draw the knees into your chest. Now the spine is in the correct alignment to very slowly go to the left. But as you do this, try to bring the energy from your rib cage downwards to the floor, down to the floor, as the knees go in the opposite direction. This time we'll only go about 8 inches to the left, and still trying to keep this rib cage down. Good, back to center. Place the feet, go back to that home position, that nice alignment, and lift the hips up into the slant board. Swish the hips to the left, and then drop the hips comfortably to the mat. Draw the knees into the chest, and slowly this time we'll bring the knees about 8 inches to the right, and still trying to keep the rib cage as it's pulling down to the left. And then back to center, and then feet to the floor. Come back so that you're in an alignment, and one more time. Lift the hips up, and swishing to the right, place the hips up to the right in the floor, knees to the chest, and slowly breathing comfortably, both knees down to the left. Open the knees up if you're feeling a little stiff. That's fine. Next time you see this video, it'll be fine. You can work your knees together slowly, slowly, slowly. Now, breathe in, lengthen your arms, and think about the ribs going to the right without forcing. And then knees to chest. Come back to home, lifting the hips up into the slant board, and swish now to the left, dropping them down to the left. Knees into chest, and slowly, without forcing, down, breathing down, thinking about the slowness of it, and that the ribs from the left are being pulled down. So there are two actions going on, as well as an external and an internal. Turn your head now over your left shoulder and breathe in, lengthening, opening the knees if this is too much of a strain. On the exhalation, shoulders to the floor, and draw both knees into the chest. Crossing now your ankles, holding on to the instep, and just a quick massage, pulling the toes out a bit of your feet. And will you roll up? Let's roll up into a seated position. Sort of bend the knees and come up into a seated position. Good. Stop for a second. Pause. Close your eyes and yoke yourself inwards. Watch yourself breathing. As you exhale out, pulling the belly muscle in slightly. And it pulls in slightly and up a bit. It's just a very subtle movement. And now let the belly muscle soften. As the breath comes into the lungs easily, you don't have to breathe in. It's going to happen for you. No strain. Breathing in through the nose, the pause, and then again the exhalation, which is a slow, long exhalation. and pulling in at the base of the basement at the end. That long exhalation really is a natural tranquilizer. It helps to calm everything down. You can do it anytime, in the bus, at the office, when other people are angry around you. Practice it at another time when things are not so stressful. All right? Come on to the knees now, working with a lunge. Coming onto the knees into mecha pose. You'll hear me talk a lot about this. I like it because it gives you the base. It gives you where the positions of your feet, knees, hands should be. So arms stretched out in mecha pose and reach and stretch and reach. Come onto the knees. Come onto the knees and rounding the back. As you exhale, bring the chin towards your throat. Pausing and let the inhalation lift your chin very gently as you let your lower back sag just slightly, pulling the belly muscle in. Exhale again, rounding the back, opening, widening the muscles of the back, pausing, and then coming back to a table pose. Look at where your hands are right at the moment, all right? Where the hands are. Right hand, left hand, hand opened up like a star. Now I'm going to lift my hands up and come up onto my knees. Now you keep thinking about where those hands are and place your left foot between the imaginary hands. And then place your hands there once again. Good. Attend now to this back leg, and as I do this, notice that I turn my toe under and I walk my knee back just a little bit. It inches back like a little inchworm. It's very comfortable on that kneecap. And sometimes if I just roll a bit forward above the knee, right above the knee, pulling the skin back, it makes it much more comfortable for the knee. And now I am in a lunge position. Good. If this is straining for you, just put hands on either side of that foot, right on the inside of the foot. And it's a little bit easier perhaps, breathing in. Good, and exhaling, letting that muscle stretch out slowly, never forcing. Then we can go to level 2, putting both hands on top of the knee, breathing in, and as you exhale, just lowering downwards, not leaning forward, but just bringing the groin downwards as this is a very big stretch of the upper thigh and abdomen. Hands now on either side of the foot, and straighten the back leg, so that there's again a wonderful stretch in the back of the leg, and here the back makes a soft C. I drop my nose to the knee and the back opens. I'm breathing comfortably. It feels really wonderful. And then bring the knee down to the mat, back into mecha pose, stretching and reaching and stretching. Occasionally look here, use me as a blackboard if you need to, but then go back to yourself. There are very few mistakes that you can make. Hopefully I'll throw out cautions many, many times. Come on now to the table position. Looking at your hands where the hands are. And now lifting the hands, and will you just put the right foot up between the handprints. Placing the hands back on the floor and inch the left leg back a bit to where it's comfortable for you. Not me, but where is the stretch comfortable for you, so that today you can work on the stretch, you can look at this class again and move the leg back slowly. Hands now on the inside of that right foot. This is level 1, stay there if you'd like, or we will then move both hands on top of the bent knee. The knee, which is over the ankle. You're going to breathe in, and you exhale, you just go downwards. Easy, slowly, listening to your body. Stopping, never going through pain. Sweet discomfort maybe, but not a pain. Hands on either side of the feet, straighten the back leg. This should release the big contraction of the muscle, big stretch of the muscle. Drop the nose down towards the knee. And can you bring your left heel more to the floor? Breathing comfortably, opening the back into a soft C, and then knee to the floor. And will you sit down for a moment? Sitting, pausing once again, closing the eyes, going inwards, and enjoying how your body feels. Enjoying how the body feels right now and taking a breath. Exhaling, exhaling out, 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 out. And inhaling, bringing energy into the body, letting the belly muscle go soft as you breathe in through the nose. Just close your eyes, breathing in. And exhaling out, tiredness out, and out, and out. Good. Slip down on your abdomen again. Once again on the abdominal area, and place the arms alongside of your body. Look down the front of your shirt as if to see your navel. And can you see the shoulders here? If you can see your shoulders, shrug them up onto your ears and then pull them back and down. Remember? Pull them back and down. Squeeze a lemon between the shoulder blades, just pinch in there slightly. And now lifting the chin, keeping the toes on the floor. And down. As you exhale, let's take a breath. Inhale, exhaling, lift. Look from the eyes beneath the brow and then down. And breathing in, exhaling, lift. Shoulders back and down. Put the hands now beneath the shoulders. Come onto the knees. Come onto the knees. And now can you bring now the breastbone down between the hands and slip the breastbone between the thumbs? Rolling up into a baby cobra. Notice that that is one of the first exercises, yoga exercises that baby does, is this cobra. It's a baby cobra. Come up onto the knees again and just pause for a moment and then bring the elbows in close to your body and just slowly lowering breastbone between the thumbs. Hips are up slightly for upper arm strength. And slip between your hands once again. Raise forehead, nose, and chin. Shoulders back and down, and come up onto knees. Mecha pose as you reach and stretch. Stretch and reach. Good. Come onto the knees once again. And let's do a side motion. So as we're seated here now on the sitting bones, your right hand to the floor. You're going to inhale, lift the left arm up, lifting up. Feel the space that's all around you. And exhale slowly to your right. Try to think about it 2 o'clock with that fingers reaching to 2 o'clock. So the spine has a lateral stretch as well as a wonderful stretch in waist and hips, back into center. And lower the arm down slowly, mindfully, connecting yourself with your physical body. Inhale and let the inhalation lift the right arm up. Slowly. Exhaling down. As I go down, I bend the left elbow and then reach to around 11. Stay on the sitting bones. As you reach, you breathe. Good. And then back to center. Lowering the arms down. Once again down. Place the hands to the knees and let's just breathe in again and exhale forward as you exhale out, 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 out. And then inhaling, coming up very slowly and easily. Good, class. Wonderful. And now is the most important part of the class. Really, all of this, it leads up to relaxation, its importance and its beauty. So lie down, please, with the feet well apart. And put your hands right above your buttock area, right in that lumbar curve, and pull your hands right through the buttock area to help you to lengthen those muscles in your lower back. Palms turned upwards, and press your elbows just lightly to the floor and tuck one shoulder blade in, the other shoulder blade in so it cradles your shoulders. Shoulders down from your ears. Nose, chin, breastbone in alignment. Close your eyes and just listen to the sounds of the room around you. Bring your awareness, like a little cocoon, all around your body. And then slowly roll your head to the right. And slowly roll your head to the left. Take your time. And then bring your nose back to alignment. Nose, chin, breastbone in alignment. Sense and feel the difference in your body now as compared to a half an hour ago. Does your body feel light or does it feel heavy? Do the arms feel long? Do they feel hollow? Is there a difference in your skin temperature? Watch all of this passively. Become aware now of the points where the back side of you touches your surface, the back of your head, elbows, hips, heels of your feet, and imagine these points becoming heavier and heavier as they sink into your surface. Good. And then bring your attention right up to the tip of the nose and passively watch the breath as it flows in, feel its coolness, and effortlessly flows out. And then let the whole mass behind the skin of your face sink back into your surface. Breathing comfortably, effortless breath. Continue your relaxation as long as you like until our next class. Namaste.